Welcome, dear students. Today we are going to talk about agriculture crop production, trends and demand for the staple food. Let's start with agriculture crop production. Agriculture crop production is the backbone of global food security and an essential component of human civilization. It is the process of cultivating, development and harvesting crops to provide nutrition for humanity and raw materials for countless industries. It is a fundamental component of agriculture and plays a crucial role in providing food security and economic stability. This crucial aspect of agriculture involves the art and science of growing crops for food, feed, fiber, and various industrial uses. Crop production includes a wide range of practices from selecting suitable crop varieties to post-harvest handling. It plays an essential role of feeding a growing global population, ensuring economic stability, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices. The agriculture serves as the primary source of food for billions of people worldwide. Crops like wheat, rice, maize, and soya beans are staples in diets of millions, providing essential nutrients and calories. Additionally, crops like cotton and jute supply fibers for textiles and other industries, whereas sugarcane and corn are widely used in the production of biofuels and other industrial products. As the population continues to grow, the demand for agriculture product is also increasing, making crop production a critical and continuously evolving field. Dear learners, let us discuss some key features of agricultural crop production. The key features of agricultural crop production are crop selection, land preparation, planting, crop management, growth and development, harvesting, post-harvesting handling, yield and productivity, crop rotation, sustainable agriculture, genetic improvement, climate resilience and global trade. Now let's discuss about the crop selection and diversification. The process of crop production begins with the crucial decision of selecting which crops to grow. Farmers and agricultural experts must consider various factors when making this decision. The factors include local climate, soil condition, market demand, available resources, and crop rotation strategies. These factors influence the choice of crops and the success of the farming practices. One key aspect of crop selection is diversification. Planting a variety of crops can provide several benefits, like mitigation of risks associated with disease outbreaks and extreme weather events. Crop rotation is a practice of alternating different crops in the same field. This can improve soil health and reduce the accumulation of pests and diseases. Diversification also contributes to food security by ensuring a wide range of crops are available to meet the diverse dietary needs. Talking about the land preparation and planting. Once crop selection is complete, the next step in crop production is the land preparation. Proper land preparation is critical for creating a suitable seed bed for planting. Farmers use various tools and techniques to ensure that the soil is well aerated and free of debris, weeds, and other obstacles. Planting is the process of sowing seeds or transplanting seedlings into the prepared soil. The timing and spacing of planting depends on the crop type and the local growing conditions. Some crops are directly sown into the field, while others, like tomatoes, are typically grown from transplants in nurseries before being transplanted into the main field. Talking about the crop management and growth. Crop management is a continuous and complex process that involves necessary care of crops and providing resources to crops so that they can flourish. It includes practices such as irrigation, fertilization, pest control, disease control, and weed management. Effective crop management is essential for optimizing crop growth, yield, and quality. Modern farming often employs latest agricultural techniques to monitor and manage crops more efficiently. Remote sensing, drones, and satellite images are used to evaluate crop health, detect plant stress, and to make decisions about resource allocations. Precision agriculture also involves the use of automated equipments like GPS-guided tractors and irrigation systems. During the course of growth and development like germination, vegetative growth, flowering, and fruiting, crops have specific requirements of nutrients. Sufficient water, nutrients, and suitable environmental conditions are essential to support each stage and to maximize the yield. Harvesting and post-harvest handling. The last stage of crop production is the harvesting of mature crop. Harvesting methods vary widely with crop type. Some crops are hand harvested, such as fruits and vegetables, while others are mechanically harvested, like grains and oilseeds. The timing of harvest is critical to ensure optimal crop quality and yield. After harvest, crops often undergo post-harvest handling processes to maintain their quality and extend shelf life. These processes include cleaning, sorting, grading, and packaging. Proper storage and transportation are also vital to prevent the damage and maintain the nutritional value of harvested crops. Talking about the yield and productivity. Crop yield is a fundamental metric in agriculture crop production. Increasing crop yield is a constant objective for farmers, and it can be achieved through various means like by the use of improved crop varieties, better management practices, and technological advancements. Modern agriculture has seen significant gains in crop productivity due to advancements in plant breeding and genetics. High-yielding crop varieties, often referred to as green revolution varieties, have played a crucial role in boosting agricultural production worldwide. These varieties have traits such as disease resistance, higher yields, and adaptability to different environmental conditions. Talking about genetic improvement and biotechnology. Crop improvement through genetic breeding and biotechnology has been a game changer in agriculture. Traditional breeding methods involve cross-breeding plants with desirable traits to create new varieties. In contrast, biotechnology allows genetic modification, such as the introduction of specific genes to enhance traits like pest resistance or drought tolerance. Genetic modification has led to the development of genetically modified crops, commonly referred as transgenic crops. These crops have been engineered to express traits that enhance their performance or reduce the need for chemical inputs. For example, Bt cotton is genetically modified to produce a protein toxin to certain pests, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. In addition to genetically modified crops, biotechnology has changed crop improvement through marker-assisted breeding, which allows breeders to identify and select plants with desired traits more efficiently. Genomic sequencing and biotechnology tools also enable researchers to better understand plant genetics, leading to the development of improved varieties. Talking about the sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is an essential concept in modern crop production. It focuses on practices that balance economic viability with environmental and social responsibility. Sustainable farming seeks to protect natural resources, reduce the environmental impact of agriculture, and promote the long-term soil fertility. Let's focus on agricultural crop production trends. Agriculture crop production trends are continually evolving in response to various factors, including technological advancements, climate change, market demands, and shifting consumer preferences. Understanding these trends is crucial for farmers, policymakers, and stakeholders in the agricultural sector. Sustainable agricultural practices. There is a growing attention on sustainability in crop production. Farmers are adopting practices such as organic farming, no-till agriculture, crop rotation, and cover cropping to minimize the environmental impact, conserve the soil health, and reduce the use of synthetic chemicals. Precision agriculture. Precision agriculture technologies are becoming more prevalent. These technologies include GPS-guided equipment, drones, and sensor-based systems that enable farmers to optimize resource use, monitor crop health, and reduce waste. Biotechnology and genetic modification. Biotechnology, including genetic modification and gene editing, continues to play a significant role in crop production. Traits like pest resistance, disease tolerance, and drought resistance are being incorporated into crop varieties to improve yield and reduce the inputs. Climate resilient crops. As climate change leads to more extreme weather patterns, there is a growing focus on developing and planting climate resilient crop varieties. These varieties can withstand higher temperatures, water shortage, and extreme weather events. Digital farming and farm management softwares. Digital tools and software applications are being used for farm management, crop monitoring, and decision making. These technologies provide real-time data on weather, soil conditions, and crop performance. Regenerative agriculture. Regenerative agriculture aims to restore and enhance the soil health while increasing the productivity. Practices like agroforestry, conservation, tillage, and holistic grazing management are gaining importance. Alternative crops. Farmers are diversifying their crop portfolios by exploring alternative crops that are well suited to changing conditions. This includes the cultivation of ancient grains, specialty crops, and crops with niche markets. Vertical farming and indoor agriculture. Urbanization and limited land availability are the driving force for vertical farming and indoor agriculture. These methods use controlled environments and vertical stacking to grow crops efficiently, often with reduced water and pesticide use. Hydroponics. Hydroponics involve growing crops in nutrient-rich water solutions. It is gaining popularity for their efficient resource use and year-round production capabilities. Talking about the blockchain and traceability. Consumers are increasingly concerned about food safety and traceability. Blockchain technology is being used to track the journey of crops from the farm to the consumer, enhancing transparency and trust. Global trade and export opportunities. International trade of agricultural product is expanding, and there is growing demand for high quality and sustainably produced crops in global markets. This presents export opportunities for many countries. Plant-based proteins. The rising popularity of plant-based diets and concerns about the environmental impact of meat production are driving the demand for plant-based protein sources such as soya beans and peas. Talking about the biofortification. Efforts to combat malnutrition include biofortification, which involves breeding crops to have higher nutritional content. For example, vitamin-fortified rice and iron-fortified beans are being developed. Data-driven decision-making. The use of big databases and analytics is helping farmers to make data-driven decisions. Predictive models and machine learning algorithms are used for crop yields forecasting and disease detection. Talking about the urban agriculture. Urban farming initiatives are on the rise as more people recognize the benefits of locally grown produce. Rooftop gardens, community gardens, and vertical farms are becoming common in urban areas. If we talk about the consumer preferences in specialty crops, consumer demand for organic, non-genetically modified organisms, and specialty crops is influencing what farmers choose to grow. Specialty crops and superfoods have seen increased production. These trends in agriculture crop production reflect a growing awareness of the need for sustainable and resilient food systems that can adapt to changing world. Dear students, let's discuss about the demand for staple food. At the core of agriculture are staple foods, the fundamental crops that form the majority of world's diet. These staples such as rice, wheat and maize have historically played a vital role in feeding the global population. However, the dynamics of agriculture are evolving rapidly, driven by changing trends in technology, climate demographics, and consumer preferences. Staple foods, the bedrock of global nutrition. Staple foods are the dietary foundation for billions of people worldwide. They are characterized by several key attributes. Caloric density. Staple foods are rich in carbohydrates and provide the bulk of daily calorie intake for many populations. They serve as a primary source of energy. Wide cultivation. Staple crops are typically grown in diverse geographical regions, making them accessible to a broad range of populations. Versatility. Staple foods can be prepared and consumed in various forms, making them adaptable to cultural and food preferences. Nutritional value. While staples may vary in their nutritional profiles, they often provide essential nutrients, including proteins, dietary fibers, vitamins, and minerals. Historically, the cultivation and consumption of staple foods were determined largely by geographical and climatic factors. For example, rice was a staple in Asian countries with suitable growing conditions, while maize dominated the diets of many in the Americas. If we talk about the changing agricultural trends, in recent decades, agriculture has undergone profound transformations driven by a combination of factors that include shift in climate patterns, population growth, urbanization, and evolving consumer preferences. These changing agricultural trends have significant implications for the demand for staple foods. Technological advancements in crop production. The Green Revolution, which began in mid-20th century, marked a turning point in agriculture. Technological advancements, including the development of high-yielding crop varieties, increased mechanization, and the use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides led to increase in crop yields. These innovations significantly influenced the demand for staple foods. High-yielding varieties of wheat and rice became handier and affordable. This contributed to increased consumption in regions where they were introduced. In countries like India and Mexico, the Green Revolution resulted in a shift from traditional cereals to high-yielding varieties. Climate change and agricultural resilience. Climate change presents a complex set of challenges for agriculture. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns, as well as increased frequency of extreme weather events, have the potential to disrupt crop production. Staple foods, being the foundation of diets in many regions, are particularly vulnerable to these changes. In response, there is a growing emphasis on climate-resilient crop varieties. Research and breeding efforts are focused on developing crops that can withstand higher temperatures, salts, and changing pest and disease patterns. For example, heat-tolerant wheat varieties are being developed to ensure that wheat production remains viable in regions facing rising temperatures. Demographic shifts and urbanization. Global population growth and urbanization are altering consumption patterns and driving changes in staple food demand. As more people move to cities, there is a shift away from farming and increased dependence on markets for food supply. Urban population tend to have more diverse diets, including greater consumption of meat, dairy, and processed foods. Urbanization also brings about changes in lifestyle and eating habits. Fast food options become more readily available and often displace traditional staple-based diets. These dietary shifts can lead to increased demand for processed and fast foods. Health and dietary preferences. Consumer awareness of health and nutrition is on the rise. This has led to changes in dietary preferences, with many individuals seeking more balanced and nutritious diet. While staple foods provide essential calories, they are not always rich in essential nutrients. In response to these preferences, there is a growing demand for staple-based products that offer enhanced nutritional profiles. For instance, fortified cereals, whole grain bread, and biofortified rice varieties that are higher in essential vitamins and minerals are gaining popularity. This trend has the potential to reshape the staple food landscape. Global trade and market integration. The globalized nature of agriculture has increased access to a wide range of food products. Staple foods produced and consumed locally are now part of international trade networks. This globalization of staple food supply has important consequences for demand dynamics. For instance, consumers in regions where rice is traditionally the major staple may now have availability of wheat-based products from other parts of the world. This availability to a wider variety can lead to dietary diversification and shifts in consumption patterns. Thus, changing agricultural trends have several impacts on staple food demand. This include shift in consumption patterns, nutritional enhancement, globalization of demand, climate resilient varieties, implication for small stakeholders. In conclusion, staple food remain the cornerstone of global nutrition, providing essential calories. However, changing agricultural trends are reshaping the dynamics of staple food demand. Technological advancements, climate change, demographic shifts, consumer preferences, and global trade are all influencing how staple foods are produced, distributed, and consumed. As agriculture continues to evolve in response to these trends, it is essential to strike a balance between meeting the demand for staple foods and addressing the need for diverse, nutritious, and sustainable diets. This balance is critical not only for food security but also for the health and well-being of individuals and the resilience of agricultural systems in an ever-changing world. Dear students, this is all for today. Hope you found the lecture interesting and informative. Thank you.